Hey everybody, this is my cousin Alice, and I have known her since before I was born because I had the pleasure of growing up next door from her. So, Alice, how long have you been using Naturally Vera?
Oh, about 3 years now.
Yeah, like since we started. So, I remember when I wrote my book, I was outside walking in my grandparents' yard, and Alice was like, I read your book while I was sitting in the doctor's office, and I couldn't believe the little girl next door knew all this stuff about hair. So we started talking about the products, and she started getting them from us immediately. And I feel like the majority of our referrals that literally keep us in business today came from Alice. So she has been holding us down the entire time Naturally Vera has been a tangible product. So I want to tell you guys a little bit about Alice's hair because I feel like it has been in every stage of people who ask questions about whether or not the products can work for them. So have you used Naturally Vera when your hair was relaxed?
No, I wasn't using it then. I came out of the natural. Well, it was somewhat relaxed, but then I went away from it, from the perm, and went to the. When I started with Naturally Vera, let it eventually grow out to natural.
Right, and so when you were natural before, did you even like having natural hair?
It's been a long time ago, so it's kind of hard to tell.
Right.
Hard to
So
remember.
the cool thing about growing up next to Alice is she would have like all the baddest heels and every hairstyle. Like you can literally tell what time period it is because Alice had the hairstyle. You know, she would have the short cut, she's had long hair, she's had color, like everything. So using Naturally Vera and being able to experiment with your hair, has it affected you in any way? Like have you been prevented from trying anything that you want to do?
No, I do everything as I would want to.
Right. So do you like the way that your hair feels?
Yes, I do.
Good, good. I'm glad. So today, Alice's hair is completely natural now, right?
Yes.
Okay, so today I'm going to do a blowout on Alice's hair, and we are going to use Naturally Vera's Ultimate Bundle for heat styling to achieve her blowout. And you'll see that the natural texture of your hair doesn't get compromised when you use Naturally Vera. You can style it however you want, and as long as you follow the regimen and you protect your hair properly prior to blowing your hair out, then you won't experience issues that typically scare people, like as far as heat damage and things of that nature. And is your hair color treated?
I do have some highlights in it right now.
Some highlights. Okay, cool. So I'm really interested in seeing how the honey hair mask works with the highlights because we actually created that product to make sure that your hair feels even when you feel your natural hair that is not processed and then the hair that has been highlighted. So I'm interested in hearing Alice's feedback after she tries this new product. So if you're interested in seeing how that comes out, then this is the video you want to watch. So first I'm going to start out by dampening Alice's hair with warm temperature water and applying our honey hair mask to her hair and just getting it distributed throughout her hair and scalp, and I use as much as I need to do that. And then I'm going to sit it in a processing cap for about 20 minutes. Now that her hair is set with the honey hair mask in it for 20 minutes, I'm going to rinse it out with warm temperature water, and then I'm going to shampoo her hair twice using Naturally Vera's conditioning shampoo. Each time I use about a nickel to quarter size amount, and the second time you can tell her hair is super clean. You see more of a lather, you see the air bubbles in there because it's attracted all the oil and dirt, and that's been rinsed free from her hair. And then I'm going to do a final rinse with warm temperature water so that I can start detangling. Now, I'm going to detangle Alice's hair. I'm going to separate it into sections just to make it easier to do, and then I'm going to follow up with Naturally Vera's moisturizing conditioner. I apply as much as I need to each section. I'm going to finger detangle, and then I'm going to follow up with my Denman brush, and I always work from the ends up to the roots. That way I can catch any tangles, any knots, work them out with my fingers along the way, and we're going to really prevent any damage and breakage that would unnecessarily occur if I didn't do it correctly. And once her hair is fully detangled in this step, we don't have to do that anymore in this process. Now I'm going to rinse the moisturizing conditioner from Alice's hair using cool temperature water. This will seal in the moisture from the previous step. So now all we're working on is moisture retention at this point. Then I'm going to follow up with our green tea deep conditioner. I'm going to focus on the ends of her hair, but also on the scalp. The ends are the oldest part of your hair and they need the most TLC before you end up having to trim them off. And then I'm going to go ahead and focus on her scalp just to make sure it exfoliates. And this product's going to sit on for about 10 minutes so it can really penetrate and do a good job filling in any holes and, replacing any damaged little holes with collagen and protein and things like that. Now, her hair is set for about 10 minutes with the deep conditioner in. I'm going to rinse it out with cool temperature water again so that I can seal in the moisture from the previous steps. And once it is completely free of product, I'm going to apply about a pea-size amount of Naturally Vera's aloe vera leave-in conditioner to Alice's hair, all throughout her hair, just so I can protect it from the heat of the blow dryer. So when blow drying, I like to section her hair off into manageable sections, very similarly to what I would do when I'm detangling the hair. I'm going to get her hair as straight as I can with the blow dryer so that all I have to do is give it a nice clean finish using one pass with the flat iron. So I will go through on high heat with the blow dryer and get it completely straight, almost looking blown out already. And then I'm going to go through with a lower temperature on the blow dryer just to get around the perimeter of her hair, any areas at the roots that are still damp, and get that all completely dry. Then I'm going to pull out my whipped shea butter, use half of a pea size, make it into a film on my hands, and spread that evenly throughout her hair so that I can protect from the heat of the flat iron. I do small sections with the flat iron and one pass only. I go all throughout her hair and then we look it over and assess what needs to be trimmed. If I see any damage, breakage, anything like that, I will trim it all the way down. Sometimes you'll see me slide my fingers down her hair like this and roll it over, and anything that sticks out, I just trim it on the way down so that way her hair can lay flat and smooth and we don't have any further breakage, because what happens with a split end is that it keeps splitting until it breaks off, and that's how your hair can look thin in some sections and things like that. So I try to combat breakage and splitting and things like that right in their tracks. The same with fairy knots, which are also a type of split end. So what I really like about this process is that even if your hair is color treated, if you're just whatever you're doing with your hair, once you've used this full regimen, your hair is full of moisture. Even though you've done a heat style, it is very soft. You can't tell the difference between the feeling of the colored treated hair and the natural hair, and it's so smooth, it's shiny, it's voluminous, and I am really pleased with the finish. Alice typically likes to wear her hair straight. She used to have relaxed hair, but then when she learned that she could achieve the same result without using the chemical process, she pretty much phased out the relaxers, transitioned, trimmed that part off, and her hair is completely natural now. So if you're interested in removing chemicals from your hair care regimen, but you still do like the straightened look, the products that we used today to achieve Alice's look was the Naturally Vera Ultimate Bundle for Heat Styling.